organize the list of hotels, which cities they are, what lock-in we have given them. We will have all them ready. You can forward to them, like say, Patanan Princess, Patanan Princess, this is a lock-in, see the pictures, update the pictures, update the information, save, send it back to us, we capture it. Okay, that's probably will be very good for all. Okay, so I'm going to continue now. I'm going to invite Mr. Ong, is the CEO of 2C2P, who is the e-payment vendor, and he will be a very experienced man because he has worked in Indonesia, Philippines, wherever we are there. Okay, he has some PowerPoint to show you about his organization, how he works, what they are doing, very interesting projects they have, and also he's going to explain some of the flows of e-payment, what happened, why you don't get a return, why you get a reject, why it takes so long, and so on and so forth. So he's the best person, so we have invited him this morning to share with you. Ong. You need me to...
Yeah, that'll be great. Thanks, Peter, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for spending time on Saturday morning. Nobody knows who we are, so I just prepared a couple of slides to explain who we are, and then I will just dive into what we do. Did you click? Yeah, thanks. We have been in this business for quite some time, but nobody knows us because usually in the early days when we started in 2003, we only serve banks. We never serve merchants, for instance, like you. So only early 2007 we started providing services to the merchant. Obviously we have been certified by Visa, Master, JCB, and American Express, and we have been doing payment processing business for quite some time. Usually we provide payment technology such as like payment gateway or fraud management tools or 3D secure system to the banks. For example, like in Thailand, we have about 85% market share. So it means whenever you are buying something in Thailand, 85% online, 85% of the time you will be unknowingly using our system. We have been around. We are right now in 8 different countries. We would like to go to 2 new countries sometime this year. As you may notice from the logos, we have been dealing extensively with the banks earlier. We have never speak to merchant like you before. We only work with a few key merchants so far, but we have changed our business line a little bit. So right now we are getting involved a little bit in the engaging with the merchant. In the early days, we engage with the merchant on behalf of our customer bank. Today, we are a little bit different. We are in most of the country you are from. In Hong Kong, we recently set up, and Indonesia, we work with largest bank in Indonesia. In Singapore, we have UOB. In Malaysia, we have UOB and Maybank, and so on and so forth. And today we serve largest merchant ever, like Groupon, Living Social, Laos Airline, and we have been working with 11 for Tech for quite some time. I think over 3-4 years now. That's the team. So far, headcount is about 56 in three different countries: Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. Or for other locations, we are going to team up. We are going to build a team. For example, especially Myanmar. Myanmar is a new frontier, and also I'm Burmese, and I've been living away from home, and now it's the first time for me to go back and do something for the country. Unlike Chai company, I cannot be alone and then self-funded. So we have been funded for this expansion initially by Singapore government. We received investment from Singapore government, and then following investment from a VC based out of Singapore, and then another following investment from GMO Group and MasterCard. So GMO Group is the JASDAQ listed group in Japan. MasterCard, all of you knows. So we will be aggressively expanding across all the countries I mentioned earlier for years to come. So that's what we do. That's what our company is today. We do everything related to payment. Although payment is just one word, there are a few things in the payment verticals. And today, to match with this audience, I am going to talk to you about two of our products. One is obviously payment processing. I think mainly most relevant to B2C players in here. And another one I'm going to talk about is we call it one-time card. It's a payout scheme, so you can pay to your supplier. So let's start with payment acceptance. So for B2C customer, like Peter explained earlier, you have been doing all your hard work, exchanging all these XML, and finally you have a chance to sell the product to your client. And there may be someone buying using fraudulent card. How do we fix that? How do we make sure that all these buyers you have collected to your website are legitimate buyers, and then you don't get any chargeback or fraud? So what we do here is usually for B2C market, if you want to sell to market like Thailand or Indonesia, we obviously accept all the cards. And also country like Thailand and Indonesia, we also accept alternative payment. It's like cash payment. For some of the market, even in Thailand, our card penetration is not there yet. So sometimes customer has a spending power, but they don't have a payment instrument, online payment instrument such as debit card or credit card to transact. So what they do is they will go and buy something online, such as from the Groupon or from the travel website, and then they will have a barcode or a code, so they can go to nearest 7-Eleven or post office or nearest bank branch to pay cash or to use the ATM card to transfer. So if you are from Indonesia, it will be very similar to like a Click BCA process. But in Thailand, we have that, and Indonesia, we recently teamed up with Indomart. So now you can buy something online, and then you can go and pay cash at Indomart, for example. So the process is as follows. So let's say your cardholder, your customer try to come to your website, which is developed by, let's say, Lemon Infotech, and then they buy something. They buy some room nights from you. So then their reservation system will send information to us. And we take through 5 different processes to make sure your transaction is protected and fully safe. Start with fraud. So this is one of the reasons we enter into merchant market. In the early days, we only served the bank, and we thought that we can only do this with the bank. In around 2007, one of the budget airline in Thailand got into trouble with a lot of fraud transactions. So our bank called us and said, okay, can you go visit the airline and find a way to help them out because they got hit by fraud. So their rate was about 3% at the time. Pretty big because they have about 300 or 400 million baht transaction a month. So what we did is we tuned our bank product to suit their airline needs, and then we could bring down their fraud, and luckily they went public last Friday. So now, because of that, we thought that, okay, right, in that case, there are some merchants who are in need of this kind of service. So we started, entering into providing service to the merchant. So after that, then we do, once we check all the fraud, and then we do some currency conversion or multi-currency stuff. So it means you are selling in Thai baht currency your room, or maybe you are selling Indonesian rupiah, and your cardholder is from UK. So maybe we can quote the price in pound sterling. So once you do that, you can have some cost saving. And then we do 3D secure process. 3D secure process is now industry standard, used by nearly all these issuers. For some countries like Korea, Malaysia, and Singapore, it is mandated by central bank to have all the cards to have 3D secure. So we do 3D secure process, and then we do routing based on your relationship with the bank. Sometimes you have a banking relationship, you need to work with BCA for the special, like a special promotion for BCA cardholder. You need to work with UOB for special promotion. Then we do that routing part, and then we send out authorization message to the network. Now that we also have one of the network provider as our investor, we have a close tie, so we could send the message out to their network without going through anything. So obviously we provide all these points and data claimed by nearly all the payment provider, including the availability. That's not exciting. Let's do next one, Mike. What we can shine is these four key areas. One thing is we can store the card securely. So it means if you have a repeat customer, let's say your customer buy the first time and then they can take a check box, they keep my cardholder card number for next purchase. Once they do that, next purchase, they don't have to re-enter all the card details. The card number is recorded earlier, so they can just pick the card number and then they can transact. Another one is we can do some recurring payment. Maybe they can pay every month. And right now we are also working for, we call this installment payment plan. Every single country is very famous about this, very popular. But Thailand, everybody wants to use installment payment plan. Indonesia was everyone wants to use installment payment plan. So it means like if you are selling a high, big ticket item, package. Let's say you have a 100,000 or 150,000 ticket price, then they can pay for 3 months or 6 months period. Yeah, let's go. So this is one of what a payment page looks like. We provide card payment all the way to like over-the-counter payment. And the key part I want to talk about is fraud a little bit. So we serve Laos Airlines together with 1184 Tag 3 years ago. We started providing that for 3 years ago. Since the launch until today, we don't have any chargeback or fraud until today. So by using this little system. So this is what our team actively look at. So this is the incoming traffic, we call it. This is the booking, book at the website continuously. And can you go back please? And from this screen, because this is just a screenshot, but in fact from this screen, our fraud team can manage the transaction. We can block an IP if we want to. We can block accepting card if we want to. We can take action immediately from this particular screen. This is a screen